Welcome to Be Latina's virtual pop-up shop, where we talk to small business owners in the Latinx community about their businesses, inspirations, aspirations. My name is Gloria Malone, and I'm your host. I'm here with Delilah D, the CEO and founder of Shift World.
Hi, it's me, Delilah D.
I am so excited to chat with you. I have been following your business for a while on Instagram. I've been following you for a while on Instagram. So can you tell us the name of your business and what it offers?
Hey guys, I'm the founder and owner of Shift World. We are a digital content events agency, and everything we do is for the empowerment of the Black and Brown community. From the events we put on, as I always say, BC before COVID, the media we push out, and also the merch that we sell. We have an e-commerce platform as well. Everything is just like, we just want to have a voice for our people. We want to have a voice for people to understand, like, they have the power to take control of their lives. They have the power to shift the world. They have the power to, shift from dreamers into doers and become the best versions of themselves. Like, we live in a society that tries to tell us that, like, we won't really amount to anything. We live in a society that tries to tell us that we come or are born in a certain type of environment, that's where we're going to stay at, and that we at Shift, we're not with the shits, basically. Like, we trying to shift mindsets. Like, we want you guys to understand, like, take control of your life and you can take control of your world. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. Like, we have different layers to the agency, but essentially, like, we just want people to become the best versions of themselves, and that's what we do.
I love that so much. I I am so excited for first off to like continue to see how you all will grow as the new year comes in and all of that. But I'm interested in like when you first had the idea for Shift World and when you officially launched Shift World.
Okay. So about that, so it actually before it used to be the Delilah Company. So I actually started that when I was in college, and the whole concept was just like basically like I was sharing stories of people who were currently like underdogs, people who were currently working hard to make their dreams come true, and also people who also like made it in life. Because I wanted people to see like these celebrities, these Instagram influencers, and they see like the glitz and glam, but a lot of people tend to forget like they went through blood, sweat, and tears to get to where they are right now. So the whole concept was like I had read the book The Secret, and they really talk about law of attraction, and the people you surround yourself with play a part in the whole law of attraction aspect. So like these were the people I'm sharing their stories. This is my company, the Delilah Company. I wanted to show you like through the law of attraction, doing action, manifesting what they want, like creating the type of world they want. Like these were the stories they're sharing. But the thing is, like, with me, I can talk about this for hours, but we don't want people to get bored. But just a quick story with how that started was just like, I was in college. I was not doing really good. I was in a really dark place in my life at the time, like mentally, emotionally. I was having a lot of failed relationships going on, and it just was taking a toll on me. So I just wanted to create an outlet because I realized that there wasn't an outlet that was specified for like people like those underdog stories of people who are like, changing their lives around. So I just figured like, why not create one? So fast forward into this year, we actually like the whole journey of the Delilah Company was a lot. I would say up and downs, mainly downs. Because when you're someone who don't know anything about businesses, when you don't know anything about LLC, having good credit, how that can affect what you're doing with your business. Like I felt so much. I felt so many times, and but like I kept pushing forward. That's something I say a lot too. Is like always keep pushing forward. But the thing is, like with the Delilah Company, like I created that as kind of an outlet for me, and I knew that people wanted to like because I needed those messages. I knew that other people will probably need those messages too. So like it was my outlet. And the thing is, people every time everyone heard the Delilah Company, they knew that was like my thing. So when I rebranded this year, which was we have relaunched, rebranded, renamed everything in April. And like my thing is like I spent years like planting these seeds and watering them and growing up my mind, just trying to change like my mindset. So like our hashtag for the Delilah Company was occupying your mindset, because we want to occupy your mind. We want you to understand you can change the way you think, you change the way you think, you change the way you view the world. So like even with that, like so my whole thing is just like, okay, I've gotten to this new level of my life. I feel like I'm scaling in different ways. Like, I spent years working on myself mentally, emotionally. And I mean, granted, it's not going to be, rain, sunshine, and rainbows every day, but I feel like I'm doing pretty good at, managing curveballs that are being thrown my way now. Like I was able to occupy my mindset. So like me being the owner, so it's like, okay, now, I'm taking in everything that I'm saying. Like, now I feel like I'm a different version of myself, which is like what comes with life. Like, becoming a better version of yourself. You're not supposed to stay stagnant. You're not supposed to stay the same. Like, you're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to grow. Like, it's a part of life. So I knew I wanted to rebrand the Lilac Company, because I'm like, I needed like something was shifting in me. And it's crazy because when I came with the name Shift, like, I don't know why that word shift was just in my mind all the time. It was just like shift. Like, it's just something is shifting. Like, I feel like my entire world is shifting, but in a good way. So, and I remember even I was on my way to a meeting, I was in an Uber, and when I was thinking about the word shift, and the guy, he had a book in the back of the Uber. I don't even think I ever shared this story. I shared it on my Instagram story, but because I was talking about the name Shift, and then the book was like Shifting to New Levels. I forgot what the name of the book was, but it was the word shift. And I'm like, you know what? Like, there's a reason why this word is keep on like appearing and it's speaking to me. Like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna go with. So I was going back and forth between Shift Media, Shift House, Shift, and I was like, you know what? But I do more than media. Like, House, like, I don't want it to just be like an internal thing. Like, you know what? We taking over the world. So it's Shift. So we basically like changed. So it's like, all right, before with the Lilac Company, it was occupying your mindset. But now it's like it's shift happens. So it's like we were dreaming it, we were thinking about it, we were changing the way we think. Now we need to do the actions to like, to become the better versions of ourselves. Now we can't just we can't just be dreaming about it. We gotta do things about it, shifting from dreamers into doers. So that's how Shift World came about.
I love that. And I also really appreciate you being honest about like the challenges of it, right? I think entrepreneurship is often romanticized. And people or it's like super like overnight, and it's not, right? It's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of things that like have to take place for you to make that shift and go into the direction of the things that you want to do. So you all launched merch. And I'm wondering, what is the most popular piece of merch that you all have had so far?
Actually, my Made by Immigrant shirt. And so it's like, since I've launched, so what's crazy is that I've had a merch line for, I'm gonna say about like 3 or 4 years now, but I've never really paid any mind to it. I'm like, oh, I knew I wanted to have like some, cute little quotes, whatever, on a shirt. Something to just have like, additional residual income. But like, again, because before COVID, like I was doing events, I was doing media, like I'm on red carpets, I'm at these, whatever, I was curating events, working with brands, but obviously, COVID came and stopped all of that. So it's like, I had to do a shift in my life. No pun intended. But so it was only because of COVID that like I actually started like focusing on my merch and it really like, putting my time and effort into it. So it's like, but since I first released this, like, and this was like I want to say no, like 3 years ago, like this is the one that's always been popular. Like, the hoodies, the long sleeves, short sleeves, like have always been like, and it's so funny because everyone that wears this a lot of our pieces in general, like, so if you go on our website, like we have a lot of statement pieces that has like, words, it's just like empowering, whether it's, like, you being a descendant of your ancestors and being the best version of yourself, saying his Black Lives Matter, is like saying, just silence is, is compliance. So it's just like, we have a lot of merch that's just, so that people thinking like, damn, like, wow, like that's really powerful. But I know, especially with this shirt, every single time anyone wears it, and even with me, or like I'm always getting text messages, I'm always getting DMs and emails. It's like, yo, like every single time I wear your hoodie, people always stop me in the street, or people always say like, wow, like, yo, that's a really powerful statement. That's because it's like something that people don't really, I guess, because we like when we're here, we assimilate, especially as like first gens, and it's just kind of going back and forth. But like, like we got to be prideful of who we are, where we come from and stuff. Like, I'm made by immigrants. So I don't know, this is like one of definitely our top items.
That's awesome. And it's also taking back the narrative, right? It's like introducing a new narrative and reclaiming a narrative of what it means to be an immigrant, to come from a family of immigrants. I feel like I could spend like a whole nother hour.
Girl, y'all want this IGTV to be like a 3 hours long? I can get into it. Because we can talk about my identity issues, especially being half Puerto Rican and half Peruvian, and growing up, me not wanting to claim my Peruvian side because I was embarrassed because like, no, there's no Peruvians here, and then it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
That's crazy. so you've had the merch line for forever. And like you
Yes.
mentioned in April, really like being intentional with the launch. I also noticed that you all were doing something pretty interesting with some of the sales, some of the money that you were making from your products. And you were donating it to other organizations. Can you tell us a
Yes.
little more about that?
So aside from like we have our regular merch, but with Shift, like we're very, it's at our core and our morals, like, you know, we need to empower our community in any way, shape, or form. So like, you know, even like with us, like one of the main things that's just like is always lacking, especially underrepresented community, is money. So it's just like, you know, there's a lot of great nonprofit organizations, yes, that like are doing, you know, great stuff. But when a lot of like these, it's crazy because these galas, these whatever, these fundraisers are always going towards these huge nonprofit organizations. But you need to think about like, yeah, they do serve, you know, certain communities, but that essentially like that money goes into marketing. That money goes into like paying people salaries. That money goes into like, you know, a whole bunch of different things. So like with us, we're intentional about like, so we have certain relief items that 100% all of ourselves go towards small grassroots organizations and doing the groundwork. So like that we know that the money's going to go towards directly impacting, you know, the community that they serve. So, you know, this summer we launched our Black Lives Matter relief tee. So we have like the His Black Lives Matter, Her Black Lives Matter, Their Black Lives Matter, My Black Lives Matter. And that like really like kicked off too. So it's just even with that alone, so since we launched those in June. To date, we've been able to donate close to $13,000 in sales. Because that's, you know, because I mean, it's from like the sales profit, because that doesn't include like production and everything that goes on the back end. But now we just recently launched our immigrant rights one. So like the money's going to go towards like small grassroots orgs that are fighting rights for immigrant relief. So it's just like, you know, it's something I've always been passionate about, and something I've always like, you know, especially because I grew up in Philly, grew up in inner city neighborhoods of Philly, and just even just like going to like these crappy ass after school programs and my mom would put me in just to obviously keep me out the street, or certain rec centers, certain things. I'm like, yo, why do we always get the short end of the stick? Or why do we like, or even when I was involved in a certain extracurricular activities, like we were just like, everything that was like, the intention is good, but it's just like everything was just used. Everything was, it just wasn't anything. So we just want to make sure, I want to make sure like, you know, okay, yeah, I'm thankful for everyone to purchase my other merch, but like we have these relief items that we want to make sure like I'm giving back to my community. So it's not like 50% goes to me, whatever, like, no, like it's 100% of like the sales that go towards like different organizations. And we have listed on our website like the different orgs that we've donated to already, and some of them have like small followings, some of them have great, you know, good followings, and some of them it's just like, even like Black Women Speak, it's just like it's a small like group setting that's hosted that has like, you know, therapists behind it, is offering a space just for Black women to come and, you know, at that safe space to like, you know, to help them mentally and emotionally, like, you know, go through certain things in life. So it's just even just like stuff like that. So we just want to make sure we're always giving back. Like it's the core of our ethos. Like it's everything we stand for. Like it's not just about us. It's us. I mean, like it's the community. Like how are we impacting the community?
I love that. I love that so much, because it's like it's possible to be a mission-driven business, right?
Yeah.
There is like this idea that businesses just like have to, or like businesses that can be really selfish or like not give back. And there is absolutely a way for people to launch a business, to, you know, make money from their business and to help support their communities. And so I love the ways in which you all are making.
Because don't get me wrong, like I'm breaking that generational curse of like financial insecurity. Like I want, like, yeah, but I've also like, I want to give back. So it's like, you know, yeah, you can be about getting your money. You can be about being business savvy in that aspect. But like, again, especially when you come from not so great neighborhoods, not so great backgrounds, like, and the thing is, what's crazy is when you grow up in these type of neighborhoods, it's kind of embedded into your head. Like, oh, you need to get out. You need to get out. You don't belong here. You don't belong here. Go out and make it. Go out, never come back. But it's just like, yeah, that's like the narrative that needs to be broken, because it's like, okay, you go out, you make it, but what about the other people that grew up in the same neighborhoods that you grew up in, but don't have the same opportunities because maybe they didn't have a mentor in their life, or they didn't have anyone just kind of like pushing them and stuff. Like, you need to understand, a lot of times that people grow up in these neighborhoods, they end up in certain cycles because they don't have anyone there, and it's a societal construct, and it's just like, it's like you're destined to fail. So like, okay, you make it, you popular, you getting your money, but like, like, what is that going to do? Like, you know, how are you impacting your community? So it's like, don't get me wrong, I want to make a lot of money. Like, I'm not going to, because I'm manifesting, you know, financial freedom, but I also want to help my community because, like, you know, I don't take it lightly. The fact that I've been able to, like, you know, accomplish a lot of things that I've been able to accomplish, but at the same time, like, you know, I want to give back. And it's like, you can do both.
Definitely. And so how do we make your monies and give the monies away? Where can we find you and your business online?
You can find me at shiftworld.com, www.shift is without the I because there is no I in team.
Okay.
Because it is not just about I. So shift is SHFT world. And then you can find us on Instagram, shift.world. So yeah.
Wonderful. I appreciate your time so much. I know like all of the small businesses owners we've spoken to are extremely busy, and so I appreciate you, you know, giving their time. I look forward to continuing to see y'all shift this world and shift the ways in which people think about being a business owner, being about how they are a consumer. All right, and I'm just really excited to continue to see you grow. So thank you so much
for highlighting us. And like, I really appreciate you. So thank you for everyone that's tuning in right now, and especially if you watched it this entire time.